So we should talk a little bit about TNA here. I don't know if you've been following the story. Are you aware that they have been they're not being renewed by Destination America / Discovery?
Yeah. Oh boy. I'm kind of whatever with the story. It's like they just came off so bad. I mean, here's the deal. They knew, or at least Dixie knew, for a week, maybe longer. I don't know when she knew, but I knew she knew. Everything in the Observer article is what it was. I know she knew by Tuesday. Okay, and they could have done, gotten ahead of the story. They could have, whatever they wanted to do, told people ahead of time, because she knew it was going to come out. I mean, it was, as soon as I knew, I went to her and I just said, what's the story? Tell me what's the deal? She didn't get back to me, so gave her a couple days, got more confirmation on the story, and came out. And it's like, and it wasn't, and again, and I contacted her again, the same thing. So, I mean, then they, the whole thing, even before the second one, it's just ridiculous. They had their chance, they're whatever. Here, again, the memo, there was a memo, okay? It's not like some guess. It's not like some speculation. There is a chance, and I hope as much as that promotion was absolutely incompetent this week, and especially in the last couple of days, on the handling of this story. Can you imagine going out there with this threatening lawsuits and stuff? I mean, this is just ridiculous. I mean, for something that's black and white, and they know it's right. Now, granted, there may be people somewhere who wrote stuff that wasn't true. I don't know. I didn't read anything, okay? And they certainly, like all these people, I mean, whatever they said, they send this release to everyone. Guess who they don't send this release to? Me. They didn't send it to you, did they?
I didn't get it.
Of course not. Of course not. So it's just and the whole, cancel versus renew. Okay, I got to talk about this. Okay, because here's the deal. I mean, they're the same thing anyway. So it's the whole argument is just ludicrous to begin with. However, I do want to say this: that the wording that they used at the Discovery Network was, "We will not be renewing."
That's right.
Okay? That is the wording. I know I wrote cancel, and I'll tell you why I wrote cancel. And it's the same thing anyway. And in the television world, by the way, those words are used interchangeably all the time. You can look in.
When I Googled it, the very first headline that came up used the words "not renewed" and "canceled" interchangeably in the same headline.
In the television industry, those words are interchangeable, okay? And I've known that. But the reason I use the word canceled, okay, and not renewed is because they signed, do you remember when they announced this deal? This deal was announced as a multi-year deal. Now, as I said, and this is before this story came out, people were asking, before this ever came out, and they're going can they get out of the deal? And I said, you can always in television get out of a deal, and the deal point, the point that they could get out is in September, okay? But that is not renewing. I mean, I guess you could say they're not renewed for the fall season, but it's not renewing the contract. It's canceling the contract. If it was a multi-year contract, and at the 9-month level, you are, nixing it because you have the option to do so. Okay, you can say, well, we didn't renew the option. But when you announce it as a multi-year contract and at 9 months, that is a cancellation. But you know what? It's also
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because whatever terminology you want to use, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I know. It's the same thing. But even like the whole thing of, no, we weren't. It's like, yes, you were, because it was a multi-year contract. So anyway, that's that. But the other thing as far as that goes, like they, I expect, and I mean, they're certainly hinting that starting on Friday and maybe even quicker through social media, they're going to try to rally their fans, and they should, write letters. Nothing's set in stone in the television industry. I mean, in the sense of, there have been TV shows canceled before that fan pressure is brought back. And I mean, people are going like, oh, what happens in September, they can prove you wrong. It's like, no, the memo is right. And I even wrote in the story, this is the other thing that bothers me. I covered that in the story. I said, you know what? This game is still in play.
Yes, you did.
I mean, it's like I covered every base in that story. And I mean, look, I know no intelligent people are knocking the story, and most have been praising me and all that. I mean, and the people who have knocked it either, most didn't read it, and the ones who knocked it and read it, are just either, they have no reading comprehension, or they just, I don't know what to say. I don't even know what to say about them. And again, I mean, the number of people who actually read the story that complained to me is like, I'm not saying there was none, but boy, there weren't many. So I shouldn't really get mad about it. I'm not mad at the TNA fan base. I was amused by them, and I was having fun with them and all that. Why is he responding? It's like, I had fun, and people had fun reading it. Okay. Whatever. That's fine. It was amusing and all that. And maybe I was, sorry, I thought of some funny lines from time to time. It was one of those days. That's what I do when things like that happen. I try to make humor out of it. Okay, so anyway, but the people in the company made a lot of mistakes. I can tell you that there is a television station that could have had interest in them. I mean, one of the executives from that station, I mean, he contacted me and said, who would ever, you know what I mean? After the last 2 days, I think the wording was, after the last 2 days, anyone who's followed this story, who would ever want to do business with these people? And again, I didn't think of it that way, but now, just Brian, put yourself in the shoes. I am a television executive, half-ass thinking maybe pro wrestling, right? Maybe I'll do pro wrestling. And just say that you happen to be a reader of our site, and many television executives are. Okay? And these people are so stupid that they don't even understand that. And you watch how this whole thing went down with the TNA side. And this is now Dixie kept her mouth shut, so that's good. But no, you know what though? But they still did that stupid lawsuit thing, which made them look so bad. Okay. But okay, think about this, okay? And think about again how they lost Spike. Okay? And if you look at that, I mean, how did you lose Spike? And then this. It's like, if you look at, again, because their ratings aren't that bad. In fact, their ratings were very good on that station. I mean, it's there's the handicap of wrestling, and it's hard to sell ad time, and all that, which is tough. And but again, there are stations, and Spike being one of them, but they lost Spike. But there are other stations out there where if you're doing mixed martial arts, okay, if you've got mixed martial arts, or you've got maybe even kickboxing, maybe boxing, that's a stretch, but certainly mixed martial arts. If you are a station and you've got mixed martial arts, and many stations do, Access has it, NBC Sports has it, CBS Sports has it, although CBS Sports isn't spending much, for stuff. But I mean, these are the stations that, TNA, maybe Fox Sports, Fox FS2 is another one. These stations, they're, I don't know if FS2's talked to Jeff. So, I mean, I don't know that they want it, but they're not so adverse that they wouldn't talk to Jeff. So we're talking about these different stations. If they go and look, there is the value that you can get these wrestling fans and you can promote your other stuff. And we already know that wrestling fans will watch MMA, not all of them, but a lot of them, enough to where you're going to help your MMA property, without a doubt. I mean, that is a proven fact that if you have a wrestling show and you promote your MMA property with a wrestling show, it will help your MMA ratings. And so there is a logical, Destination America didn't have that. So it wasn't as valuable. Those Alaska shows and all the ghost shows and all that, they tried to promote them off of wrestling, but I don't know that it's really effective. Certainly not like an MMA show would be. So when you've got if you've got any of those stations and they look at this, they're going to go, you know what? The ratings aren't too bad, and there's an upside, but who would want to deal with them? Now, somebody may. And I hope they sign a deal. I hope that Discovery changes their mind. I do, and they were, and if people go, oh, he was wrong, whatever. I don't care. I hope that they change their mind because I don't want to see them go out of business, and I don't want to see the guys lose jobs. And I'm entertained by their show the last couple of weeks too. Last couple of months. It's sad to watch, but this week was so sad, and I'm mad at them not because of what they've said about me at all. I'm mad at them for being so fucking stupid. And I mean, again, the stuff I'm saying is like, how smart do you have to be to think? Just freaking, you guys had a week to tell the story that you wanted before it was going to break, most likely. Maybe not. Who knows? Because who knows when I was going to get confirmation and more, and I was going to go with it. Again, and it might have happened sooner. I mean, like when I first found out, it's like, maybe someone's going to get it first. But whatever. You don't know it's coming out. It's coming out soon. It's coming out pretty damn soon. And what do? You start this campaign, attack the messenger. That's fine for your people. Again, and it's so few people. That's for this tiny number of people. You can create that Dave Meltzer is the enemy who wants to see this thing die, which is, of course, anyone with a brain knows the opposite is true. But they're willing to feed that because it's the only, for 2 days before it comes out anyway. I mean, everyone knows the story now. Everyone knows that, and I mean, I wrote the way I wrote, I don't know. I'm just so mad at them for their own stupidity, not for me, because I don't really care. I actually, I was actually very entertained and amused by all, I wasn't mad at those TNA crazy fans. I was having fun and all that. I wasn't mad at Billy Corgan, although that was just really just embarrassing. It was completely embarrassing. And then now I've learned about